looks like. Can you guys still hear me? You can see me?
Yeah, we can
Yeah.
hear
Yes.
you.
Yeah, I'm frozen on my screen's frozen on my end. So I'm goofy smile. I don't know what happened there.
Nah, you looking
Oh
just
man, he
fine
was
here.
right, man.
Yeah, we see you.
He wasn't lying about that Obama phone.
Welcome, folks, to the elusive episode of Chopping It Up. I am the host, your boy Blunt. And as you can see here, I got a panel of guests that join me today, and we're going to talk about a topic that we all love and is near and dear to our hearts. That's
Sir,
it. Could be
Wrestling.
it could be
WWE,
WWE, TNA, Impact,
yeah, yeah,
and
yeah,
whatever
yeah, yeah.
else is out there. All the other ones that are out there, but
Independent wrestling.
or independent wrestling, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
You know
Rich.
what?
Yeah,
Honestly, independent wrestling doesn't get enough play. Like I'm pretty sure they because that's where like we get people like Jacob Fatu and like we talk about Zilla. We've been talking about Zilla for a minute,
Yeah, they all got to
and
start from somewhere. You got to crawl before you walk.
yeah.
yeah.
Right.
So a lot of the independents, man, they coming. They finally coming through the big league, man. It's nice to see that.
Yep.
So you guys didn't know if Chris didn't tell you he's in an independent and he's a manager, right, Chris, in your independent thing. This is the
Yep.
one I was telling you about, Rich, that
Oh,
we were
that's
supposed to
dope.
go to.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay,
Yeah.
okay.
I've
that's
Yeah,
spoke
that's
to
that's
him.
several
dope.
companies around the New York area. So let me introduce myself. Heathens and sinners. My name is Father Craven.
And
Yeah, Father Craven. Let me tell you. First of all, Father Craven, I gotta give you your flowers on losing weight. Because when I went to the first event that you invited me to, you were a lot heavier, and
Thank you.
and that was part of what made it fun because you had told us before you got the character, you know, you guys make sure you say fuck Craven, right? So we'll be like, bet you ain't got to tell us twice. We gonna let your ass have it.
Yep. 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 Yep.
So when he came out, we was throwing out fuck you, Craven, fuck you, Craven. And he was fucking with the opposition. Hey yo, bro, let me tell y'all something, man. He got the opposition so mad they started chasing his ass around the ring. I was
You ain't
like,
never seen a
yo,
fat guy run so fast.
I never seen a fat guy run so fast, bro.
oh man,
I was in stitches, man. But I had a beautiful time that night. It was in where it was in Queens, some lodge in Queens,
It
right?
was on the Elks Lodge up on
The
Queens
Elks
Boulevard.
Lodge. Yeah,
The
yeah.
famous Elks Lodge, but they don't use the inside building anymore. It's a side spot.
Oh,
It's
okay.
connected to where they used to have the ECW arena.
So, Chris, while you at it, you might as well plug in your company that you work with.
A little bit about me and my background. When I was younger, I fell in love with wrestling. My father always watched it with me, so I always like it was the only thing that ever lit a fire under my ass. I always wanted to be a professional wrestler. So lo and behold, when I was younger, maybe around 1995, 96, I saw a commercial for ECW's House of Hardcore out in Long Island, and I applied and they accepted me. And little did I know that it was going to be as hard as it was. I was trained by Taz's cousin Mako, and Perry Saturn. Let me tell you, the ringer they put me through, I only lasted like 2.5 months, and I was done. I said, I'm not ready for this. So, now fast forward, my mom passed away. She left me a lump sum of money, and I saw an ad for Dory Funk Jr. Who doesn't know Dory Funk Jr.? Come on, NWA
Yeah,
Heavyweight Champion.
yeah.
He was running a school in Florida, and I applied to his school in Florida, and I went and I got trained by Dory Funk Jr. So I kind of have like a weird kind of pedigree where I was trained by some of the hardcore new guys, and then I got some old school with Dory Funk Jr. And while I was training with Dory Funk Jr., I broke my ankle and I basically shattered it in 4 different
Mm.
places. And that was
Mm.
the end of my wrestling career for like 17 years. I didn't know
Damn.
I didn't care about it. Life took off. I became a father. I got married. I had kids, divorced, married again. I have 3 kids now. 2017, one of my wife's friends come up to me and he says, "Hey, we're gonna have local wrestling. Why don't you go talk to the promoter?" And the promoter's name, I thank this guy for the opportunity always. Gino Caruso gave me the opportunity to perform as a manager in ECPW, uh, East Coast Professional Wrestling. Let me get that right before he hangs with me. And I was basically I had boots, jeans, and a t-shirt with a leather jacket, and I came out like something out of the 50s with a pair of sunglasses, like an 80s biker kind of guy. And what this character's evolved into since 2017 blows my mind. For a while, I ran into a guy called Mr. Big. He's been a manager around the independent scene for a long time, and he took a liking to me, and he took me under his wing, and he helped me. Uh, Bring my character out and do more things with my character. And who is Chris Craven? What would Chris Craven be? And then as we evolved Chris Craven, he became like a homage to Kevin Sullivan, which is
Mm.
kind of funny because through Mr. Big and his channels, I was able to work a match against Kevin Sullivan where I managed against him. So talk about being a kid in a candy shop. I flew my whole family down to Florida. The match is still on YouTube. I could share it to you guys when we're done here today.
Yeah, make
That's
sure
I could
good.
you
share you. I could share you the footage, Blunt.
yeah, send me the link so I could put it in the
You
description.
could put it in the script, yeah. So it was me managing Jesse Neal against Kevin Sullivan and his Army of Darkness. So at the end of the match, we did a double turn. I turned on Jesse Neal, and
Mm.
then Kevin Sullivan turned on me, and Jesse Neal speared me. So I took two spears. My wife thought I was dead, and it was crazy. It was one of the most amazing nights of my life. So since then, I did a homage to Kevin Sullivan for a while, and then my professor, Mr. Big, said that he wanted to bring my character into a more realistic state, and he asked me, what do I have in my background? And I said I'm a bus operator. He says, no, there was a guy called Mass Transit. And if anybody knows the story of Mass Transit and ECW, that's another
Yeah,
link you should put up.
I did see that.
Nobody ever wants to be a bus operator in wrestling again.
Actually, I watched Maven. Yeah, Maven. He was doing. He was talking about mass transit
Is
with
that the
Devon.
that's the
And
what about me? What about Maven? No, that's Raven. That's Raven.
No,
Wrong guy.
no,
no,
Raven.
no,
Nah,
Maven,
that's
I love
Raven.
Raven was
Maven,
Wrong
just
but
guy.
tough enough with her. Yeah.
no, but that incident, man, I felt bad for mass transit, and
Yeah, that was pretty bad. So then,
yeah,
so I said to him, well, I became an ordained Christian minister and I married my best friend to his girlfriend, and they became husband and wife. And I got the certificate and everything. And he says, ooh, we can make you an evil priest. And that's where the whole idea for Father Craven came up. And then he says, we're going to get a group of guys together. And he was joking with me, like, I don't know what we're going to call your coven. And he was like, coven's a female thing with the like religion and stuff like that. So it's like, witches, coven and stuff. So I looked up the male version as covenant and it just took off from there. So my group is the covenant and I'm Father Craven and I lead the covenant.
Yeah.
And
mm,
Alright.
so
So
that kind of took off and I've been doing independent scene since 2017 and I have a group of guys here and there that I manage. They change from time to time. Most recently, I ran into a guy who was taking his daughter to preschool with my daughter, and I said, "Oh, you're wearing a wrestling shirt. You like wrestling?" And he says to me, "I was going to be a wrestler." Turns out we grew up in the same neighborhood, just 20 years apart from each other. He's 20 years
Wow.
younger than me.
small
So I
world.
came up. He had a lot of troubles when he was younger. His mother put him in an institution, stuff like that. So he his character is basically based in reality. Like he's an escaped lunatic from Bellevue. And that's the
Mm.
character that we came up with. And we named him Mason Carnage, and he's been the main guy. And all that came from up here and years of watching wrestling. And he's the
Okay.
main guy that I've been managing for the past couple of years. And now we just added another guy to the group called Merciless Merc. So it just keeps growing and evolving and different things. I've worked for several different companies. I worked for FTW, which was in New York. They're in Florida now. I worked for USA Pro Wrestling. But the one I did the most for was ECPW. And now a new federation is starting up calling International Wrestling Council. and they're going to
Mm,
be having their first show in Elmcore in September 27th. So that's, unless something happens over the summer, that's my next show. I do it because I'm passionate about it. I would have loved to have been a professional wrestler, but injury took me out of the game and life took me out of the game. So
mm,
having a chance to be a manager and just let my creativity come out and working with these younger guys and see them grow. ECPW is where Damian Priest got his start. He used to be Punisher Martinez.
Mhm.
So, and you never know who you're going to bump elbows with. A lot of these guys, like you said, you see them go on to Ring of Honor or TNA or AEW or WWE eventually. And it's like, wow, I rubbed elbows with this guy. And then what happens is ECBW a lot of times, or these other places, they bring some of the legends back. So you get to rub elbows with people that you grew up watching.
mm,
I spent the whole night hanging out with Greg to have a Valentine once. It was one of the funniest, greatest nights of my life.
That's crazy.
So basically, that's my story in wrestling. I watch wrestling. I eat, breathe, sleep, and shit wrestling. My wife gets tired of wrestling, but she knows that wrestling's my passion, and she's into it. She says before she met me, she hadn't watched wrestling in probably 30 years. But
mm,
because I'm into it, she's into it. She likes it. We have wrestling parties at my house. I do like WrestleMania parties, SummerSlam parties. So, it's just wrestling is the thing I'm most passionate about. It's always been like the biggest part of me. Father Craven is more of an identity than who I really
mm. Right, right. So let me ask you, Rich, when did you start watching wrestling?
Me, I've been watching wrestling since I probably was like 5, 6 years old, man. It
Mm,
always been wrestling and boxing. My dad was big on those two things. Iron Sheik, all those dudes back in those days, Birdman, all those
mm.
guys, Coco Beware.
Coco Beware. I was
Yeah,
about to say
Coco
you can't
Beware.
can't leave
Yeah,
him out.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Know that Jake the Snake, Ravishing Rick Rude, all those guys. Bob Backlund. He used to
Mhm.
have me cracking up when you throw people in that cross-faced chicken wing,
The chicken
Big
wing, yeah.
wing.
acting all crazy. Oh, acting all crazy.
You
So I've been watching since I was a little kid. I never stopped. I never stopped ever since
never
then.
stop.
Never
What
stopped. I
about
never
what
went
about
off.
you, Jay?
So same thing when I was little. In fact, with my brother here, every time we watch wrestling, same thing like karate, we always end up in moves. We always end up
Yeah,
am. Us
doing
two older
moves.
brothers, I
yeah.
always
We
wrestle with
always
my
been
two
like
older
that,
brothers.
man. Ain't
Yeah.
nothing but little brothers suplexing each other.
That's it.
Yeah.
They got it,
So funny
uh,
story about we kind of did that, but it was karate. It's a little off subject, but we did that. We broke my mom's bed.
why I knew he was gonna bring that shit up.
Listen,
So,
if I
but
had a dollar for everything I broke on my parents wrestling with my
oh,
brothers, I'd be rich.
so it's funny because we were talking about it. I asked him. I said, "Yo, what happened when mom? Mom came home, and we don't remember.
We don't remember
Got a bunch
Uh,
yeah, you
of
don't remember nothing. I know she saw that because she had like one of um those big beds where they had the frame in the front and the frame in the back. But the frame was like separate and on the front was like a log, nice and uh it was put together nicely and for whatever reason I was supposed to have gotten kicked or whatever and I ended up flying through it. I thought I was just gonna hit it and come back, but I went through the whole thing. What up, little C's? And
say,
Hey, what's
say
up, dude?
hi, say hi. Hold up.
yeah, she told me up.
yeah.
Oh,
What
wait,
up,
where?
little C?
Look. Yeah.
What's
Hello.
good, man?
Yeah, it's frozen. My screen's frozen, but they can see you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Say hi.
we see you. What's up,
Yeah,
dude?
what's up, man? We can see you.
Guys, thanks for tuning
So
Yeah, it's a
so
good
for
thing when I was
me,
a kid
in.
that it's a good thing when I was a kid that my
hold
parents
on,
had a
hold on,
pool because
hold
I
on.
got to wrestle.
All right, I'm
All
sorry.
right.
So I actually didn't finish, but what I was gonna say is like, so just like man, uh, Hulk Hogan time, Iron Sheik, big King Kong Bundy, Bushwhackers,
Yeah.
um, um,
Hacksaw Jim
Hacksaw,
Duggan.
Hacksaw Jim Duggan. I mean, at the time, I didn't realize it until after I watched Mr. McMahon. But like WCW wasn't available to us back in those days because it was
No,
specific territories back then.
territorial.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, so I never knew. I thought everything was just WWF at the time. Um, so I never heard of WCW until people from like down south would come out and visit. You never saw WCW? You don't know about Sting and all that? So I'm like, no. So it was interesting. So I would look into wrestling, but I kind of fell off and came back on, especially when the Undertaker came out and was putting people in body bags back then, and then I really took a liking to Bret the Hitman Hart, even Shawn Michaels, and then the Attitude Era kicked on, and it was off to the races. So
Mm.
Yeah.
um, yeah, so I can't, and I think when John Cena and Randy Orton were on big time with Batista, I kind of fell off a little bit and picked it back up when the newer guys like Roman Reigns when he first started with the Shield and all that stuff, and I was like, okay, CM Punk and and a lot of people did not like Roman Reigns at that time. I was like, I like what I'm seeing with this guy. He had a lot of
Yeah,
problems.
it was hard for him to get over in the beginning.
Yeah, I
Mm.
Yeah,
was always a Roman fan.
Yeah,
yeah.
it was hard
I
for him
was
to
like,
get over.
he had a lot of potential, but when he turned heel, I was like, this is it.
That's what he
That's
needed.
it. That's what
That's
he
what he
needed.
needed.
Yep.
That's what he
Mm.
needed. The baby
The
face wasn't
wise
working
man.
for him.
Once he
Yeah.
got the
So
wise man.
yeah.
Yeah,
So for me,
Yeah, Paul
for,
Heyman.
for me, I I I became a fan when Hogan slammed the Giant.
yeah,
That was the night I became a fan, and it lasted all the way up until they posted in the newspapers that they were friends. Him and the Iron
yeah.
Sheik. It was him, the Iron Sheik, and somebody else in the limo. They was partying up, and I got disgusted because we all thought,
In your mind, you thinking they supposed to hate each other.
yeah, so wrestling was real,
Yeah.
and like what is going up? So I end up giving up on him, and I end up coming back at it again. And then that was I think that was probably like the best era because
Oh,
you
The
had
Attitude Era.
yeah, the
Yeah, that's
attitude, you
true.
had
yeah.
WWE, and then you had WCW
The Monday
on
Night
the
Wars.
same. The Monday Night Wars was incredible,
And then
so
ECW brought the
I
violence in.
I
yeah,
can't
it
lie
was
though. That right now they giving the Attitude Era some competition right now. Like the
yeah, I
Mhm.
things that
see
I
it,
agree.
these newer guys is doing,
I
Yeah,
like
see it.
they really turning it up to a next level. Like for instance, Drew McIntyre, like he's
I love
doing
that guy.
some incredible work right now. Like
yeah,
Hmm.
Yeah, that
Drew,
guy's
yeah.
great.
and the thing about Drew is that he could take control of the show and be interesting without even having the belt. He don't
Hmm.
need
Right.
the belt
No.
to
Hmm.
be a major figure in the game.
Who did that?
Like,
Undertaker did that a lot. They
yeah,
need the
Yep.
best.
Jake the
look,
Snake.
Undertaker was
Take the
what
snake.
he
Yep.
went on like a 20-year run in WrestleMania.
Hmm.
Yeah.
It was never about the belt.
Right. It
It
was
was
the
just
If
running.
anybody was gonna take it, I would have gave it to Roman Reigns to boost his career at the time, or Bray Wyatt, because
Bray
Yeah.
Bray
Wyatt. That
Bray,
Wyatt
would have
was the next.
Bray.
Bray
Bray
would have
on.
been
God
Come
bless
on,
him, man.
hold up, time out. Can we have a moment of silence for Bray Wyatt, man?
Yes, sir.
definitely.
Yeah.
Rest in peace to the homie Bray Wyatt, man.
Yes, sir.
Mr.
Yes, sir.
Mr.
That's
He was
Wyndham Thunder,
listen.
aka Bray
He when
Wyatt.
he came out with that character, my God, I was like, wow, I'm
this
in love all over again.
the
Yeah.
creative mind that Bray Wyatt had. It was unparalleled. Like Bray, and it's so sad that what I mean we lost him so early because he has so much more
So
in
much
Hmm.
store to
potential.
go with. Like
He
as
had
like
so
you see
much to
what's
give,
yeah,
and I
like
don't
it's
think they knew
crazy.
what to do with him because he had so much to give. They really
Yeah.
didn't know what direction to take his character because he had
But
so much that he wanted to do.
the thing about it though, Triple H now, once Vince McMahon was out the picture and he was able to let Bray have a lot more creative control, Bray was able to really try to start to take command of where his career was going.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
Vince, everybody know how Vince was, how he really had a much different managerial mindset than Triple H. Like
Mhm.
when Vince was
Well,
around, you ain't really have no control.
No, he
Vince
had
was
it. It
born.
was it was
Vince
his
was
way of the
born into
highway.
the
Yeah, that
business.
was it.
That's right. It was his way of the
Mhm.
highway. Triple
Mhm.
H is one of the boys, so he knows what they all went through. And I don't care what anybody says. He
Yep.
married the boss's daughter. Triple H is a student of the game. He
Yep.
studied the game from the day he fell in love with wrestling, and
And
Mhm.
he
he,
made it work for him. Marrying the boss's daughter is just the icing on the cake. This
Mhm.
Mhm.
guy is a brain 24/7 when it comes to the wrestling business. Back when he was riding with the clique, all he talked about was wrestling, and he didn't do drugs and he didn't drink, so he was the designated driver.
yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
You know?
Another,
But he should
yeah,
be getting all the credit in the world for
Yeah, Triple H is the man, man. He always
the
been the
brain.
man to me.
I mean, the brain that he has for this business is unbelievable. You think, and lately it's been like getting a little stale, but he does things like you don't want to hit it at 100 miles an hour all the time. You got to back off.
Mhm.
Like
Yeah,
Jacob Fatu, all gas, no brakes. Eventually, you're gonna run out of gas. You
yeah.
yeah,
gotta you gotta create that tempo, ebbs and flows. You gotta bring it up and down, and that's what I feel Triple H is doing because if you watch the end of Saturday night's main event, now you got a big pop that they're going into again. Like
Mhm.
and
it's kind of
he actually got Cody to get a pop because they booed him at WrestleMania,
I know.
and
Yeah,
I was like, are they trying to turn Cody heel? Is that what they're doing? They're turning against Cody, but I
I
think they're
think
gonna let him
eventually
simmer.
that's gonna happen.
I think that happened. I think that happened too because the fans was kind of confused as far as John Cena heel turn.
Yeah.
Like they wanted to boo John Cena, but at the time, everybody been begging for this heel turn. So
Yeah, so
it's
they
like now they finally got it, and they want to see
Mhm.
him succeed with it. At the same time, it's against Cody, like the the monumental baby face of the business. So
And
it's like they
yeah,
don't know which way to go with it.
and he's not doing the heel turn the way everybody suspected he would have done it. Everybody thought
Yeah,
it would have been a new
yeah
character,
me
new clothing, new music, maybe a
yeah.
manager, something.
He-
He's
He's like
saying,
none
and
of
he's,
that.
I,
he said
I
y'all
give
get
you nothing.
nothing.
You get
You
nothing. And
get
to
nothing.
me,
The
I
perfect.
think it's
That's a
great
perfect heel turn.
storytelling.
That's perfect. The
Yes.
perfect way to be a heel is
Yep.
go against the fans and it, me and my brother were talking about this. We're talking about how Cody is a cookie cutter baby face.
Yes.
So it's like everything you would expect in a baby face. So it gets a little stale over time. Where that match where he had with Kevin Owens is a little darker side to Cody,
Yes.
Mhm.
and we're like, that's the Cody we've been missing because there was a match between. I don't know if I'm pretty sure you followed it, Kraven. Um, but there was a match with Cody and his brother Dustin in AEW.
Amazing match.
A hell of a match. I mean, I'm talking
Mhm.
about they came out bloody from this match,
Yeah.
and I'm talking about it's one of those emotional jolts too toward the end. It's like so if you didn't see it, bro, if any of you guys didn't see it, look it up.
I
You
don't.
can see
I
it
didn't
on
see it.
YouTube.
That's the
Yeah.
thing with like I miss a lot of wrestling because I just don't have time for that shit. And I get picky sometimes. Like when I see them botching shit, like backlash and with the women, I was like, come on, you guys got to do better than this shit. Like
Or man,
it
You
just
see,
pisses
Zoe
me up.
Stark 2 weeks ago. Zoe Stark blew her knee out again because she botched.
oh, I
He
see that.
jumped too
Oh
early.
man, oh
Yeah,
Yeah,
what a
Io
bad.
oh,
wasn't
that looked
posting
bad.
right, and she
That
jumped too
looked
early,
bad.
and she busted her knee again.
Yeah,
She might be
she
gone
hurt
for the
herself
career.
bad. Yeah,
Yeah,
she
that
might.
might be a
That was.
career-ending injury
Yeah,
right
she
there.
was out.
And
And
then
I
was
When you're
she was having
trying, when
issues
you're
with that
trying
knee
all
too.
this stuff,
Oh,
and you
what
know
happened?
that what's so bad about that because Zoe is really good in the ring.
yes,
Her athletic ability is crazy, and I'm surprised that they didn't use her a lot better than they did because I always thought to myself, she's championship material. Like
yes, I like her a lot.
she could have been, especially now that they have the Intercontinental Championship for the women.
Yes,
She
yep,
could have
yep.
easily held that. She could have easily held that title.
and it could
Like
have
in her
elevated her.
her in ring ability, in ring, excuse
You
me,
got
in
it's all
ring
right.
ability.
Mm-hmm.
It definitely could have been well enough to hold that title down and keep
Mm.
it entertaining, like an entertaining run.
So aren't the women supposed to have their own whole day show coming up?
Yes,
Yes,
it's going to be called
Evolution.
Evolution.
Yep.
Right.
What, or just with
It's just
just the
all
women?
women. All
Yeah,
women.
it's going to be Evolution 2 because they did an Evolution a few years ago with
Mm.
Becky Lynch and all of them.
Oh yeah. Pay-per-view type thing.
Who's
Yeah, it's
Okay,
who's
going to
okay,
be.
okay.
in you guys' opinion, who is the top three women wrestlers right now?
Women wrestlers.
Yeah, women wrestlers.
I
I'm
gotta
Because
give
still
it
a
to
huge
Becky.
fan of Becky Lynch.
Yep,
I'm a
Becky
Becky
Lynch.
Lynch guy. Um, I
I
would
like
Becky,
still put
yeah,
my
yeah.
wife
Who
number
else?
this.
Becky Lynch. I'm so upset that they let her go, but I was a huge fan of Shayna Baszler. I loved Shayna
Mm.
Baszler's
Shayna.
work, and just because she's not a pretty girl, they didn't market her properly.
Well,
Yeah.
But
you gotta have it all now. You know,
yeah,
you're talking about big
yep,
time. If
yep,
you ain't looking pretty and that money ain't helping,
yep. But I'll go for
Kinda-
my top three. My top three will be Becky, Charlotte, and Tiffany right now.
so you
Tiffany,
still think Charlotte got a couple of more years left in her?
I think hopefully this is gonna possibly be her last run. That knee injury took her out for a long time, and the fans are not happy with her right now.
Yeah, she's just not. Listen, I Charlotte is the queen to me,
Yeah.
and I'm like, yeah, maybe it's time to put the boots up because
Well, there's a
it's
lot of
just
young girls coming up now from
yeah,
NXT and everything. And
yeah.
Tiffany Stratton is hitting on all cylinders. I am a
Mm.
huge Tiffany Stratton fan.
Yeah, Tiffany is,
Yeah.
is good. So I'll say this about Charlotte. I think what they should do, they should go in the direction with Charlotte that they kind of went in that direction with Stone Cold and some of the other uh, where they had the ability, even Hogan had the wrestling technicality, and because of their injuries, they became brawlers. And
Yeah.
I think they should probably do
That's what
that with
Charlotte
Charlotte.
did too. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that
I
kind
think
of
she's
keeps
too
them safe.
skinny for that though. She's more like a technical.
You know what?
Yeah,
But she can still be
I,
technical, right? Like Bret
I
Hart
like
was
Charlotte,
very
but
technical.
she is extremely bony now, man.
she is, man.
Like
I
Yeah.
mean, her
I
shorts be
She
baggy. I'll be
lost
like,
a
what's
ton of
that?
weight.
Oh, for
I
real
think she had certain surgeries to remove certain body parts to make her even more skinny.
though.
yeah,
I
like
mean,
you know what's so
listen,
crazy? Like Charlotte is definitely when it comes to her performances, like she's definitely top tier. That's why
Yeah,
definitely
she is the queen.
the
That's why
queen.
she had the belt, what, 14 times?
Hmm.
Or how many times that she done had it? And she deserved to have it that much.
Yeah,
yeah,
But but what's happening with her is the same thing like how you were saying with what happened with Cody. And it happens a lot because it happened to him in AEW too. He was the man for a minute. He was, coasting. He was high on the high horse. Everybody loved him. And then after a while, it got stale. Like it's like
Yeah.
it
It's
just after a while they loved him, but then after a while it got stale. And the same thing was
not
starting to
everybody
happen
can.
again. Starting to happen in WWE. That's why they started booing him too.
hmm
And now he was out after he took that loss to John Cena. He was out for a little while. He just came back in the main event. So everybody, cheered him on for the moment, but
It
I
takes
don't know how
somebody
much that's
very
gonna last
special
either.
to captivate the audience for a long time.
it
Like a
does.
Hulk
Yeah.
Hogan or
yeah.
a Roman Reigns. These are guys that you're still captivated by. Another girl that I want to mention is my girl, the
The
Princess
words out of
Bride.
Undertaker's mouth. She could have a match with a broomstick. He
Yep,
makes
I agree.
Yeah.
everything
I agree.
look easy.
And you know the crazy thing, Rhea is one of those people that we talking about right now. That is like she gonna have the control of the crowd for a very long time.
All the
Like
time. She's gonna
whenever
keep
she
them
come out,
captivated. Yeah.
like it don't even matter who the champ. Right now, she shine more than the champion do,
Yep.
and she
Hmm.
Yeah.
don't even got no belt.
Hmm.
The
Nope. She
champion be
doesn't
out
need
there.
it.
Matter of fact, it's still
Io
Io
Sky,
Sky, right?
Io
Yeah.
Sky,
Well,
yeah.
Io Sky's good.
Let me
Good,
ask you a question.
really good, man.
What y'all really think about her title run?
I think it was a pity thing. Like
Yeah.
she
Yeah, I
works so
can.
hard, and so they like, yo, just give it to her for a little bit, let her run with
Just
it.
for a little while, let her
You know
run
who
Yeah,
with it.
else?
And
it's crazy that you said that. You know who else I feel the same way about? Zelina Vega.
Yes, that too with the
Mm,
U.S. title.
I feel the same way about her with that
mm,
U.S. title
Yeah,
because
some of
it's
these
like she
girls are
been
just
there for
so
so
small.
long. Yeah,
uh,
Yeah,
it's not even about her being small because look at Alexa Bliss. Alexa Bliss is small too, and all her title
another
runs
one
was
that I
way
love.
better.
5 Feet of
Yeah,
Fury.
she's much better.
I
But
love Alexa.
it's like Zelina been there for so long, and she never had her hands on nothing. And I think Triple H was like, come on, like let her touch
mm,
something.
right,
There's
right.
But
enough
but
titles for everybody now.
but the bad thing about that, she still looks like it's crazy because even though she's the champion, she still get beat up all the time. She still looks so weak. Like she,
Hmm.
You know who she
it's
reminds me of in that sense was back in the day when I was a kid. Pedro Morales used to get beat up all the time and then sneak out the victory.
yeah, it's
I thought you
crazy.
was
Like
I thought you was gonna say Conan.
Oh
Oh,
my
that's another
God.
one too.
Conan used to get. Do y'all do y'all
that
remember that match? I don't know what year it was, but Conan was supposed to come and save the day. That yo
Oh my
this,
god.
me and Jay to be on the phone. Yo, you saw that? Yo, you saw that? That nigga came running down and he came, saved the day. He came running in. Soon
Slid in
as
the
he
ring.
slid in, they stomped him out.
While he was sliding in, his
While he
eyes
They
were
was,
were
hold
closed.
stomping
on,
on him.
man.
yo,
Hold
he
on,
went
man.
in.
Talk about sliding in. No bad boy. Talk about sliding in. What happened with
Oh,
dude that where he was running down to the ring
you talking about Titus?
and
Straight under the ring.
straight under the ring? Oh my god. Michael Cole was like, what the?
That's so funny. That
Did
was
I
so
just
funny.
see what I thought I just saw? Him and
They
Corey
loved him so
Graves.
much that he's an ambassador for the company now. He does stuff around the
Yeah.
world for them.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, he
Yeah, yeah,
can't
yeah,
wrestle
yeah,
no more.
yeah. Yeah, yeah.
Nah,
Not after that.
nah.
Come on,
Speaking of
man. You
people
have
we
to
don't
stop,
see,
man.
speaking of people we don't see on the mainstream, we're trying to figure out. I'm trying to figure out what they planning on doing with Omas, because I know he's a tag champion in another circuit, but he's still under WWE contract. But Omas, it doesn't seem like it seems like a lot of the smaller guys have title runs and all that stuff. There's no real big guys, and it doesn't
Right.
seem like anybody that would make sense to fight against Omas.
Let me ask you
Well,
guys this.
I'm about to say, you know what I think about Omas? Not to cut you off.
Yeah.
Omas, I think, is like I think they giving him time to try to be refined, like try to get it because when he was really on TV in the WWE, he looked so stiff and he was just he looked real awkward in the ring. Like
We
so,
need
exactly.
development. So he
I
needs
think
more
they trying
He
to give
development.
needed
him
to
time,
develop more.
yeah,
Mm,
and
okay.
they giving him that time away from the TV, like you said in other establishments, he's tag team
What
champion
they
and all
call
that. Like,
those in
Developmental.
houses? Yeah, but like not on TV, like just in house
The
yeah,
shows.
dark
yeah, yeah,
matches,
yeah,
Yeah.
and the
Dark
in-house
dark
shows.
matches.
matches.
Yeah. In-house shows. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
So
Okay.
yeah, I think that's what they doing with Omos. I know they still got him around because he's still, show face and go to these little events and with the kids and all these other things that he doing with the WWE. But as far as like you're saying, TV time and I think that's what's
Mm,
happening with him because he
mm.
He's
wasn't
not as bad as the great Khali, but he's like one step above.
exactly. That's why I say he wasn't. It's like he took the words right out of my mouth. I was just about to say that like he wasn't that bad, but
Right. Right.
yeah, he definitely needs to be sharpened up.
Okay. So let me ask you guys this. So I think this was the first year that they had uh, a 2 night WrestleMania event, right? Am I right? It was
Uh,
this the
No, it's
first
been a
No,
time.
couple of
Not it's
years
not the
now they've
first
been
night.
doing
Yeah,
that.
couple
it's
of
been
years.
a couple of nights,
This
couple of years
this
Uh,
like
year
that.
will be the
Ever since
first year
COVID,
that's
they've
going
been
to be a
doing
two
that.
night SummerSlam.
Yeah, since
okay.
COVID, remember they had a 2 night WrestleMania during COVID with no fans.
So what
Yeah,
did you guys? Each one of you can answer this when you get it. You know, what do you guys think about both nights of the WrestleMania this year?
This year,
Very lackluster. I was not happy with the product 100%. It had its moments.
mhm.
Huge fan of Dominic Mysterio.
yeah.
I think somewhere in a dark room in a dark place, Triple H is laughing at CM Punk all the way to the bank because He didn't main event WrestleMania. He didn't get
Mm,
a championship match. I don't care. Night one is not the main event. I'm sorry.
No.
Yeah,
If you're gonna do a two-night event, your main event is what closes your show on night two.
mm,
yeah, I agree. I
I,
agree.
I,
Um, I just think a lot of the matches weren't up to what they should have been. Tiffany and Charlotte was a very awkward match. I think Charlotte was sandbagging her and didn't want to work with her. Because Tiffany is kind of like the upgrade of Charlotte. Charlotte getting pushed into the background by all these new girls. But a lot of the matches were like not that good this year. We were it was kind of like somebody let the air out of the balloon this year.
mm.
John Cena match, wasn't that great,
Wasn't
but
my favorite either.
my
can we?
favorite match was the Dominic match.
I about to say, can we? Now that you bring that topic up, uh, can we actually go through a rundown? Like, can you pull
Yeah.
that up right quick? Like, pull up the match list for night one, and let's give our opinions on, what I mean, each one, and then we will go through night two with the same thing.
Mm.
Because I do believe Dominic he might have like stole the show. That was night one. He fought.
Yeah, yeah, he was night one. He
Yeah,
stole the show.
I
and the
gotta say,
crazy thing, remember when Dominic first started, he couldn't even get a word out. He was getting
They
booed,
were booing him
and
like
he couldn't
crazy.
get a word out.
But you know what? Since
No, no. In the
I
beginning, he was the
agree.
baby face with his dad when he first started. He was, coming to the ring with his dad sitting on his shoulders. I never was. I don't know why they felt like that was something good to do. Like he coming out with his dad sitting up on his shoulders and all that. Like that was,
Honestly, in
but he
all the
really
years I've
became a
watched
star when he
wrestling,
turned on his pops.
yeah,
When he turned on his dad and he went heel,
yeah,
That turned it
and
up.
he had that little bit of Eddie Guerrero showing. Like that's when he started coming with the long hair. It was
Yep,
like everybody was like, "Oh, nah, that's the man right there, Dom, that's the man." And now he getting all the pretty joints in there now. He had Rhea, you know what I
yep.
mean? You got Liv.
Live, and now he's going to Roxy.
Yeah, now Roxanne coming in there trying to bring him some chicken nuggets.
Okay. Let me see if I can share my screen with that. Hold on a
I
second.
love Dominic's heel turn on his father, and I knew it was coming from day one. And
You don't even got to
he
do
just
that. You
needs
just
to
tell
he
us.
needs to
What
lean
was the first
more
match?
into
No, I can
he
share
just
the screen.
Okay.
he just needs to lean more into that heel and just be that heel and
Yeah,
people that you pick up.
yeah.
Since I
Dominic.
play a heel,
Mhm.
I love the heels. Like the heels are the best.
You know what I think is good about Dominic because he found a spot where he can actually he's on both sides of the fence now
Yeah,
because
yeah, yeah,
he was a heel and you know they was booing him and all that and he was a compelling heel like he was entertaining and he still was able to control the crowd and now that everybody loving him and they cheering him he never changed nothing though. It's not like he started being a good guy. He's still that same jerk, the same
yeah,
dude, Dominic. So it's like he got both sides of the coin now,
yeah.
where
Okay.
he can actually just still be himself.
exactly.
Because if they start booing him again, all he got to say is, "Well, he don't care. He ain't never
He ain't
loved
a
y'all
fan
anyway.
favorite. He never loved you all
I ain't
anyway.
never
Yeah,
loved y'all anyway. Y'all, man, f y'all, man. You understand? And go right
yeah,
back into playing that super duper heel role.
yeah.
So I
So
think he really
he's
got a
running down the match
lucky
card
space
here.
where he at.
All
Okay,
right,
here we
so
go.
I'll kick it off for you. Night one, Jey Uso against Gunther. Horrible
Mhm.
match. Horrible.
Okay.
I
Man,
don't feel. I'm not a fan of Jey Uso. He's a
Okay,
catchphrase
Rich.
with a little bit of wrestling ability.
well,
He
tell
should
us how you
start the
really
tag
feel,
team
man.
wrestling. Gunther losing to him the way he did was like a slap in the face.
I'm not even gonna lie,
Thank
I
you.
didn't like that either.
Thank you.
I didn't like
I
it at
and
all.
Gun, Gunther
Jay
is
could
the
tell you.
man.
Making them choke him out. Come on, bro.
That was
Jay could
horrible.
tell you what was I saying about that match?
Garbage.
Yeah. I
Horrible.
was
That
like
was disgusting.
Gunther better destroy Jay.
Yeah,
And that's your
yeah.
world heavyweight title, and it opened the show, which I don't
Yeah.
agree with either. I believe
Yeah,
you
I
should
was
be
I
able to
was
turn
highly
over
upset
Cena.
at that.
You know
I,
why
I
though? I
I
think.
think
Go ahead.
I'm
I'm
sorry.
sorry.
I'm sorry, man. I
Go ahead,
think
go ahead.
Gunther is a better wrestler than that, and
Yeah,
I
man.
never. He's not a character that should ever tap out.
Exactly.
Never,
Mm-hmm.
never.
Mm-hmm.
He on a redemption arc right now, though. If you pay attention to what they're doing with his character,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's on a redemption arc right now. And when he come back, he gonna be more ruthless than ever. Like
that's
because
what I like.
now you see now he got a point to. He's upset that he lost to Jey Uso. He
Mm-hmm.
didn't
He
like that at
reminds me of
all.
the old school, like Stan Hansen,
Yeah,
Bruiser
he
Brody
didn't
type
like that at
era.
all. He didn't
And I
like
love
that at
him.
all.
I
So
love him
so
since he was Walter.
so Jay Uso,
I
Gunther,
like the
thumbs
other
up,
guy too
thumbs
he
down.
was with. Sorry, not to be on the side, but you right, you right. Let me Jay Uso Gunther. I'll give that a thumbs down only because, like I said, I agree with my boy Kraven here. I don't like Jay Uso as the champion.
Me
I don't
neither.
see him as
Not as
championship material. I'm
not
sorry.
heavyweight
I'm
champion.
sorry. It don't
Mm.
it don't work for me.
Yeah, it
He's
don't work
not
for me.
championship material. You can't even put him in the ring against Drew McIntyre and believe he beat Drew.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Drew would destroy Jay Uso.
Yep.
He's way
That's
more ruthless than him. You could
that's
see it in his everything about Drew says championship material. You don't
yeah.
What
get
I
that
would
out
like
of
to
Jay. I'm
see
sorry.
what
But
I
you
would
know
like to
you
see at next WrestleMania is Gunther against Braun Breaker.
that'd be
yeah.
nice.
You know
I
what? You know what they
Or,
teased?
or
What they teased yesterday?
I would even tease the fact about Gunther and Jacob.
Yeah, that
Gunther
would
and
be a good
Jacob.
match too.
That
Mhm.
those would be better matches. Those are
Yeah,
you know what? It's crazy that you even brought him up when this is a little side off the topic because we talking about Jay Uso being the champion. Jacob is a way more believable champion than Jay Uso.
I could go with that too. Yes.
At least
Yeah,
for
Jacob
the
will
heavyweight,
have
yeah.
that heavyweight championship and look way more believable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's way more ruthless. You could just see it in him like, nah, that's somebody you could believe should be carrying that belt.
Yeah. I
Jay,
Jey
think
I
Uso is
believe,
like another
he
Jay
got
is
it
like
off
another
that whole
Cinderella
yeet
story
thing.
because of the
Yeah,
Yeet thing.
he got it off the yeet thing.
I
Like
mean, because
Daniel
I mean,
Bryan was with the yes and no.
Because remember, his storyline really started a long time ago. In the very birth of the bloodline. It was
hmm
because of Jay.
hmm
Because
Yep.
remember, Jay was beefing with Roman Reigns because Roman
yeah,
Reigns was treating him filthy in the early stages of the bloodline
yeah,
until Jay Uso couldn't take it no more. And that's where his whole story started. When he became, Roman started that whole main event Jay Uso thing, trying to get into his head.
hmm
And then later on, Jay just broke off from the family and he started his own thing. And he started doing this Yeet thing. And the Yeet thing exploded once he started.
exploded.
Because remember, in
Yeah.
the beginning, he almost got sued for it. He couldn't use it
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
there's a rapper named
Who
Yeet.
uses it? Yep. Yeah.
So they had to go through a little legal situation getting that straightened out first.
Probably paid the rapper some
Yeah,
percentage of money or
probably
whatever.
got
Yeah.
him,
They
got him
probably
to
give
hand over the
royalties or
rights to the
something.
name or something like that.
I mean,
But
we moved. I mean, Brad, man, you called it that he was going to get the belt off the
yeah,
fact that he had the crowd going
yes,
crazy every
that's
time he
right.
came
I
out.
told you that was going to happen.
Yeah,
I
it
told
was
you that
like,
was going to happen. The only reason they're going to give it to Gunther is because Jey Uso right now is selling all the merchandise. He got
mhm.
all the kids. He got everybody going crazy. Every time he come out there, he don't even got to say nothing no more. The whole place going crazy, jumping up and down, putting their hands up and down. You know what makes me laugh so hard when I see Michael Cole trying to do it.
Oh
Oh
my
man,
God.
yeah,
Michael Cole be all off beat. He's like, Pat
You know
McAfee be
what?
like,
He's a
man, what
flash in
the
the pan. He's a flash in the pan
Pat,
catch
Pat,
can.
Pat
Pat
always
McAfee be
teasing him
like, yo,
about that.
man, yo, man.
Who
Uh,
remembers Daniel Bryan now? Nobody's talking about him
yeah,
anymore. Another
Nah,
yeah,
flash
Daniel
in the
Bryan is the
pan
man.
catchphrase.
Daniel
Here's
Bryan
another
was the man,
catchphrase.
he's a
but
weirdo though, man.
yeah,
Yeah.
he when he went
Oh,
to when he
he
went
went.
to AEW,
Yeah,
yeah.
because
yeah,
Daniel
He
Bryan was the man in WWE. He was the
yeah.
man.
Yeah, he had
was
them
Even
dreads.
when he
it
even when he
Yeah.
got injured and he couldn't wrestle no more. Matter of fact, and I'm sorry, we got to go back to our list here, but I
Mhm.
think one of Daniel Bryan's greatest moments in WWE is a moment that he had when he couldn't even wrestle.
Mm.
Yeah,
It's when he did that promo with him and Miz.
yeah,
Remember
that was a good.
when
That was a
I
good
think it
promo.
was on Talking Smack. It
Yeah,
was one of the side shows. It was Talking Smack after SmackDown, and him and the Miz started having this back and
they
forth.
beefed big time.
And Miz went, but that was
Yeah,
Miz's greatest promo.
Mm.
He was so intense. His eyes was busting out his head.
Mm.
He
the
was like,
Miz
"It's
made
me,
me.
it's me,
Yeah, the
it's
Miz made me a
me."
fan of the Miz with all the hard work that he's put in, and he's
Yeah.
not an
Next
injury
time,
guy. He's always there. He's always
next time we
fucking
gotta set up some clips for this, man. But we
there.
could have been reacting to that clip right now. That would have been so funny, man.
Mm. All right, so let's get
But
back
I
to the
gotta give
list.
a thumbs down to this one right here, only
Yeah,
because I
Jay,
don't see Jey Uso as the champ.
okay. Chris, you said yours already, right?
thumbs down to the
Thumbs down.
match. Yeah,
Jay,
Yeah, I'm gonna agree on thumbs down on that.
all right. So man, I give 2 thumbs down, bro. I
two thumbs
I
down.
really wanted Gunther to just to send Jay on a year hiatus from being
Yes,
injured.
yes.
Yeah,
That's what I thought was going to happen. But all right,
he
so
gonna
let's
do
move
it. He
on.
gonna do it soon.
So
All
we
right, what's
got
next?
the World Tag Team match with Kofi Kingston, Xavier Woods versus Eric and Ivar. What's the name of that group that they had?
The
War Raiders,
Warriors.
War
Raiders.
Yeah.
Raiders.
You go ahead and skip that one.
Go to Craig.
Yeah, just keep rolling.
Craig said, "Nah, keep on moving." What you say,
Go
Jay?
ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead and skip that one.
I
All
don't
right.
even. I don't even know. I don't. Go ahead. Yeah, you're right. He's right. You should go ahead. Jade Cargill and Naomi.
Hey Naomi.
Skip that one.
Yeah.
Let me
I
be
think
honest about Jade, man.
yeah, go ahead.
Just for 1 second. You know what? Actually, I am going to speak on this match
Yeah.
Okay.
because I'm actually intrigued about Naomi's heel turn.
Mm-hmm.
I
I,
like it.
I like it. I like her heel turn. I like
Yeah,
this whole caution thing, and she gotta clean it up a little bit because sometimes it's a little crazy. Like when she was in the match and she was on top of somebody acting like she was punching
yeah.
them. Those was
Hitting
the
them in
worst punches I ever seen
the
in my
work.
life.
Yes,
Oh, that and
yeah.
that's what I be
Horrible.
talking about the women. They got to clean it up, man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but her character changed. This whole
Mm-hmm.
this whole heel turn with the she be wearing razor blades and around her neck on the dog tag, and she got the
Yeah, that's good
police
stuff.
caution tape on. Like
Mm-hmm.
I've been I've been sick of that whole glow thing. Glow,
For a
glow,
long
glow.
time.
I wasn't feeling that glow thing.
Mm-hmm.
So this heel turn, I think it was far overdue for her. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
actually a fan of the heel turn.
And what
Jade
about yeah? I
Jade
was about to say.
Cargill,
I'm
I
not
don't
a
think she
fan.
was ready to be in the
Nope.
limelight just
Spotlight.
yet. I
Yeah, me
think they
too.
just threw her out there because she was a main star on AEW, but
Yep.
her in WWE, she don't fit the mold right now to me. Like
Kind of like
My thing
trying
Goldberg.
on
to.
Jade, I personally feel Jade, you have a beautiful body, you have a beautiful look.
Mm.
Jade, go to
Mm.
Muscle and Fitness. Like I don't think she's made to be a professional wrestler. I think Muscle and Fitness would fit her a lot better. She
Mm.
reminds me a lot of Goldberg in the ring, like a lot of
Yeah.
botches, a lot of mess ups, a lot of problems.
Yeah,
It's
that's what I'm
just
saying. I don't think
they
she was ready to just go straight like that, straight to the
they
roster,
stuck
main
her in a
roster.
tag team for a while, and
Like she should have been
Beyonce
in
carried her.
NXT.
Yeah,
Mm.
that's
Yeah.
that too.
Should
Like
have put her through
something.
NXT. She didn't even go
Some
through NXT. They just put her
sometime in
straight to the main roster.
developmental for sure.
Mm.
Sometime in developmental would definitely benefit her. And to make
Yeah.
I I don't like her. I like her, but I don't like they're doing with her character at this time. It's again, it's cookie cutter to me. Um,
Mhm.
she, she could be more of a badass, especially like
That's what I think.
she don't have to be a face, but she don't have to be a heel at the same time. She could confuse the shit out of people as she's coming in and
She
attacking
could be
whoever she wants.
like a Roddy Piper,
Yeah,
Yeah,
just
yeah. You could
off
do
the
something
cuff.
like that with her.
But I think
Come
she
in.
needs to be more dominant when she's in the ring.
I agree.
She's gotta be more fluid.
Yeah.
You can't. It
Yeah, she
looks like
gotta
she's thinking about what she's doing. When
yes,
you're in that
yes,
ring, you can't. It's gotta flow. You can't
yeah.
think. You gotta feel the crowd, and you
Like
got to flow.
even when she about to grab the opponent, when she about to do a slam or something, it always looks like she's trying too hard.
Right.
Like I see her
Again,
throw her hands all the way up here before she grabs somebody. Like just
Yeah,
like why you like
I
it just
think I
looks
think
funny.
that's just the women in general. Like a
No, I
lot of
can't
their
say that
matches
because
look
some of them
choreographed. They
are
don't look
really
like
good in the ring.
no,
Some of
no.
them
There's
Mhm.
some of
females
them,
really be doing their thing in there.
but they're like few and far between. A lot of the matches
yeah,
you watch, it's like it's like okay, you could tell it's completely choreographed. Like you see
Yeah,
them
yeah.
go to, you see like if somebody's running from the ropes, you already see them like this to go to do the body slam. And it's like,
yeah.
what
I
if
get
they
it.
don't
I
want?
get what
You
you're
know,
saying.
you know what I'm saying? It's like, yeah, can you clean it up a little bit? But
You
yeah,
know what though? You see how Nia Jax squished Lyra Valkyria?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Like the Queen of the
And,
Ring.
and
Yes.
then she just recently almost had a similar one with Tiff. You see how she squished Tiffany?
Yeah.
Like almost made it to look like it wasn't supposed to really happen that way. Like
that's what you want to
that's why I
see.
said I understand exactly what you're saying now.
That's
Like
what you want to see. Shit
Naya's
like that.
like
Naya's
they're
Yeah.
rough
trying
to
to be
watch
safe
sometimes.
to each other.
Naya's pretty rough.
Right. Okay. So the safety thing, we understand that, but it's like what was the other night where Braun Breaker was punching him? Who was it he was punching? And it was like a mile off. And it's like,
Yeah.
what are we doing here? Like,
Hmm.
come
Speaking of
on.
Braun Breaker, let's acknowledge what he did to I Show Speed.
Oh my
That's a Royal
God.
Rumble.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Like
Yo,
got
Cut
hit
him in
by a
half.
car.
And then he jumped out the off the roof to spare Carlito.
Oh yes.
Carlito, I was like, yo, Carlito's dead.
So what's always so what is it? Jay Cargill Naomi? I give that a yeah. I would forget about the match.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just
So
have
Everybody.
my individual
talking
thoughts
real
on
quick
the
about the
match.
botches and the missing the punches and everything. When Ric Flair trained, he trained under Vern Gagne. Vern Gagne taped a piece of hair from the ceiling down, and Ric Flair had to punch at that piece of hair until he couldn't move it. When the hair didn't move anymore, that's when he was ready to throw punches in the ring. Because that means you're coming so close to the hair that you're not even touching it, but
Right.
it looks real. It looks like you're hitting.
Right. They got to go
There's
back and do that. They
you
got to
you
go
have
back.
to you have to know what you're doing. Like
Mhm.
there's a science to it, there's tricks to it, but you got to know what you're doing in there to make it look real.
Okay.
Because if not, you don't throw punches. You know, it's that simple.
Who next?
Mhm.
All right,
So
next match.
let's go. We go to Jacob Fatu and LA Knight. LA
Great
Knight to
match.
me, LA Knight to me is a young Stone Cold. That
I think
just
That's
in
my
they
my opinion.
problem with him.
did. He took both of them, The Rock and Stone Cold, and tried to mix it
Yeah,
into one person.
Mm,
that's my problem with him. I don't like him because he's a copycat.
okay,
The
I could
crazy
go
thing
with that.
about LA Knight though, I feel like he missed his shot because at one point, like when he came in, he was really over. Like he had
Hmm.
everybody.
Hmm.
LA Knight, yeah.
Hmm.
And they wouldn't give him a belt when they should have. Like
Mm,
when they should have put it on him and let him capitalize on that time that he did
Yeah.
have all of that overness. Because now it's like, okay, like you missed your little chance. You had the belt for a little bit, but you missed your chance now. Especially when you got somebody like Jacob Fatu in there, he came in and and overshadowed a lot of these guys.
Yep.
And they wanted to
Jacob
bring him
has
a lot sooner, but they didn't want him to come and do exactly what he did. They was
There's
mm,
trying
something
to
that we
make
call the it
Solo.
factor. And Jacob
Yeah, they was
Fatu
trying
has
to
that
make
it
Solo the
factor.
guy like Jacob is. They was trying to make Solo that ruthless guy,
Yep.
and they
mm,
had Solo in the back waiting. But because they knew when they bring Jacob, he was going to overshadow Solo, and that's exactly what
I think
happened.
LA Knight is just trying to be somebody that he's not, and he's trying too hard, in my opinion. You
Mm.
know, like he's he's another one that he's a catchphrase. LA Knight, yeah, like you're stuck in mid card hell, dude. What are you doing with yourself? Like
Some of
you're
the
gonna be
stuff,
in mid
though,
card hell for a long time.
some of
mm,
the stuff that I see him doing in the ring, though, like when he got a little agility to run and jump up on the top rope and do that little suplex that he be doing. Like
Mhm.
he do be putting effort in it. He try,
Mhm.
but like you said, I understand. Like he'll just be, I guess, like you said, mid card. He gonna be stuck at that Intercontinental Championship.
Mhm.
There's
Yeah,
guys that are just always going to be stuck in the mid card and they can't push through that ceiling. That's what happened back in the 90s with Razor Ramon. Like there was nowhere for him to go. They weren't going to make him champion at the time because so many other people were lined up.
Mhm.
So that's when he chose to go to WCW and start the
Mhm.
NWO because he knew he wasn't going to go any higher than what it was. He was always going to
Mhm.
be a supporting role, a backup player. Like he was never going to be the lead singer of the band.
Mhm. Okay, so
I think Jacob LA Knight is hard. I think I would have to give that like one of the sideways thumbs, not
A
up, not
sideways thumbs, yeah, because Jacob carried that match a lot. So
yeah. That's what I was about to say. I have to get that a sideways thumb because
yeah,
okay.
I ain't gonna front. I'm entertained with Jacob.
well,
No matter,
well,
yeah,
no matter what he doing, I like to see Jacob when he comes to the ring because
but
I,
he got that
this-
type of that aura to him.
mhm. That
I'll give it a
island
one
or
thumb. I'll give it a one thumb based on
a one
that
thumb.
one thumb, not two thumbs, one thumb. And
Okay.
the reason why I say that is because one, I agree, Jacob carried that match. However, that BFT out of nowhere was a pretty good move. That was unexpected. Um, when he went in for the moonsault, he dropped the BFT on him. I was like, okay, he did it. He pulled a Randy on him. Okay,
yeah,
I,
yeah, yeah.
Some
I
I
would tell you.
that
appreciate that.
move, man.
So what I like about Jacob Fatu is when he starts doing that shake,
Yeah,
it
Yeah,
gives it gives me that how you say the
that
old school
Umaga
like
type.
his
Yeah, old
his
school
old like
vibe.
his family vibes
Yeah, the
coming out.
crazy,
yeah,
I would
the
love
crazy
Wild
to see
Ralph
Samoan.
that.
Owen vibe.
Right, you
Yeah,
know, so the Samoan, thank you, the Samoan vibes, like he's tapping into his ancestors, and I
Oh, it's
Yeah,
love
yeah,
that.
crazy.
Like it just makes me like, oh, he about to fuck
Even with
somebody
the
up.
intensity that he be looking in the camera, like you could see he and like you was just talking about with that crazy wild Samoan vibe
Hmm.
mixed in with the
Yeah,
street vibe,
yeah, like
yeah.
it's
the hood
updated. Like,
gangster. So he got like the gangster side of him at the same
hmm
time. He got the
yeah,
wild Samoan where he's
right,
the type of person that'll wrestle with no shoes on.
yeah,
Like, you know what I mean? Like he'll
yeah.
wrestle
I
barefoot.
mean,
You
You
know what
know
I
what I mean?
mean?
Exactly. He'll wrestle barefoot
If you like
and
him
go do
now,
a
you should
bid
see some of his
and
stuff
then
from
go
New
get locked
Japan
up and do
wrestling.
a bid somewhere.
yeah.
Yeah,
What you
when
said,
he was
Chris?
in New, if you like his stuff now, watch if you haven't some of his stuff from New Japan Pro Wrestling. The guy
yeah,
Hmm.
is a beast. The guy, and he was about 30 pounds heavier than too. He was
Okay,
a total heavyweight beast.
Yeah, but with
uh,
this guys, I give them a sideways thumb, man.
okay,
okay.
sideways thumb.
Yeah.
Okay,
Sideways stuff. On to the
okay.
next
So
one.
the next one is it actually didn't happen, but they still have it on there for whatever reason. Was El
Yeah.
Grande Americano versus
Oh,
Ray
it's on
And
there.
this
Phoenix?
one did happen. This did
It
happen.
It
did
did
happen.
happen.
I
It
thought
And
happened.
Ray
Rey
Phoenix.
Mysterio went out with
Ray
injury, and Rey
it
Mysterio.
was
Phoenix stepped in.
Mysterio. Okay,
Yeah.
that okay.
But they
All right.
gave it
So
to Ray Phoenix.
yeah,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
give
I,
okay.
this a thumbs up only because I freaking laugh at El Grande Americano every
Ah
time
I,
man,
he's
yo,
on there.
we
I
gotta be
love it.
brothers, man. I
I
love
I
love
love
it.
I was
Chad
about to give it
Gable.
a thumbs up too, man.
I love Chad Gable. I think Gable is a championship
Wait.
material.
We don't know that it's Chad Gable just
Oh
yet.
yeah,
Hold up,
that's true.
hold up, man. Hold up, man. That's El Grande.
Americano.
Gracias.
El, dice gracias. Sí.
I
Okay,
love
so
it.
now
Oh
I
man.
think it's amazing.
Yeah,
so everybody agree.
I like the work that he's doing. He's funny.
So now we go to the women's championship with Tiffany Stratton versus the Queen, Charlotte
This
Flair,
match,
with her
this
baggy
match was
shorts
so
on.
rough and wonky, and just I give it
Yeah,
a thumbs down on this match. Tiffany won in the end, which I was happy for, but
He
just
broke it
I
too.
I
no,
think
yeah,
Charlotte.
she
I really just think Charlotte didn't want to do business that night, and that hurt the match a lot.
I
mm,
think Charlotte probably did that on purpose too, probably because she was actually she was mad that she wasn't gonna win that night. She probably knew already that she was set to lose.
she's
And
supposed
she
to
wanted
put her
to make it look
over.
like, you know what? If I gotta lose this, well, you're gonna have to really work for it because I'm not just gonna make you look good at the same time while I'm supposed to be losing and I'm supposed to be the queen. I believe I'm supposed to be getting this belt back, but you got the young, newer, prettier, young me trying to take over my spot, and you want me to just give it over to you like that? Like,
And they got heat in real life because of that promo battle that they had that wasn't supposed to happen. They went off script on air.
oh,
That
Yeah.
was pretty
when
crazy. Yeah.
she basically just overran Tiffany in that back and forth. She didn't even give her a chance to talk. That's why. Oh, the original one when they were sitting side by side, Charlotte
Yeah.
just overran her. But then when
And then the
Tiffany
next
got a
one in the
chance
ring,
back
Tiffany
in the
schooled her.
ring, yeah, Tiffany was like, "Oh yeah, that's why Ludwig is in my DMs."
Yeah.
Oh, that's why I'm. Charlotte was telling her like, "Yeah, that's why Ludwig's in my DMs," because she
Yeah.
had brought up the divorce between Charlotte and Andrade.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She said, "You're going to be a
She was saying,
three-time loser."
yeah, she was saying a lot of stuff. She was
Yeah.
saying a lot of personal stuff, and that's because
Yep.
she was trying to get back at her. With this match right here, it was personal, and there was a lot going on. But as far as the match go, nah, I wouldn't be. I like the fact that Tiffany is athletic and she be doing a little moonsault flip thing. But yeah, the match, nah, I would give it a thumbs down too.
Okay. So Jay, you gave your
Yeah,
thumbs up
sideways
today?
thumb on that, man.
Sideways too?
I'll pass on that one.
Okay. And Chris, your
Thumbs down.
thumbs down. Okay. So let's go to the triple threat match.
That's a thumbs up for me.
Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns, and CM Punk.
Yeah, I kind of I would have to put a thumbs up for this one too. And all right, I like Seth. I do. I like
Yeah.
Seth. I like Seth because Seth been really in control for a long time.
Yeah.
I
Like even
can't
when they was
stand
with
him.
the Shield, he was the
Mhm.
architect. When they was with the
Hmm.
Shield, he was the architect. When they came out of the Shield, he was the one that broke out of the Shield. That went with the authority and became the champion and used the money in the bank to take Roman Reigns championship the same night he got it. Like,
For some reason, he reminds me of a nasally, whiny Jewish
like
guy,
I
like
like Seth.
Juan Epstein. Like Juan Epstein from Welcome Back, Kotter. Excuse me,
It's
Mr.
crazy because
Kotter.
he's just extremely entertaining. That
I
even
tell you
even
what,
down to the things that he wear be
yeah,
entertaining. You be looking at him
I
like, what
tell you what made this
the heck
match for
is
me was
dressed
the
this
ending.
guy?
Yo,
The
thank
ending
you for
made this
saying that.
match.
Shoulders be big and frilled up like they got airbags on his shoulders.
Yo, Jay, what
He'd
I
be
be saying
rated. I
about
think he'd be rated in Becky's closet. That's where he gets a lot of his clothes from.
And what's the name was saying that CM Punk. But now that he's with Paul Heyman, you see the things he's wearing now. Like I like that the last thing that he had on where he was like he had this whole alligator. He might be he had a whole crocodile on. The whole suit was leather. Then he had the long Neo from the Matrix leather jacket.
Yeah,
I was
but
looking
for
like,
that
oh
that
shit,
main event, the ending made it for me.
this game up now, huh?
The Paul Heyman double turn was
oh, the double turn
awesome,
was
That
that
was
awesome,
was
crazy.
awesome.
That was
awesome.
crazy.
That
Because
was awesome.
and you know what? Whoever came up with that idea, that was genius because you didn't
Yep.
really know which way Paul was going to end up going. And I always had a feeling that he was going to end up leaving with Seth just
Hmm.
because of the fact that, he supposedly, that's the
Owed him a
tribal chief.
favor. Yep.
One of the weirdest things that I always used to say, why Paul Heyman got to stare at everybody that he be like, you see the way he be staring at them guys?
Like
He
you're gonna
be
eat him for lunch.
he's
He
he
used to be like,
stay
my
in
tribal
character.
chief, my tribal chief.
He stay in
But you know
character.
Like,
Man.
what?
what the
Let me
heck?
explain something to you. While you're watching Roman Reigns wrestle, I'm studying Paul Heyman so I can put it into my character when I'm on the independent. I do a
Okay.
lot of mannerisms and I use a lot of what Paul Heyman does. So
Paul is a
he's a
funny
good
guy, man.
Paul
he's a good
Heyman.
guy to focus on.
Mm.
No, I
Paul
ain't gonna
Heyman can make a
give him his love
story.
too. You got to give
Paul
Paul Heyman
Heyman
his
as a manager can make he makes a story. He makes a story in itself. I mean, we look at all the past managers back in the day. You got was it Jimmy Hart, uh,
Yep.
Bobby the
Bobby
Brain
Heenan.
Heenan, even Million Dollar Man, and
Yep.
What's his name? What was the
Virgil.
Japanese guy name?
oh, Mr.
Yeah,
Mr.
Fuji.
Fuji.
Mr. Fuji. Oh, he used to kill me with
Yeah,
that head drop. Right in they nuts.
Yeah, I mean, you have managers who helped to make the story. Even when Mr. Fuji rolled out with Yoko, oh,
That was good
one
Mm,
stuff.
hell of a story, man. I mean, loved Yoko. God bless him. God bless his soul, man.
Yeah.
But
I think
some of
Bobby
the
the Brain
managers make the
Heenan
best.
was like one of the best.
One of the best. Yeah.
Bobby the Brain, he was
But if
such
you
an
look at it
asshole.
now in the business of professional wrestling, unless you go to an independent show, the manager is a dying art. Paul Heyman is one of the last managers on the
Hmm.
big screen
Yeah, it
today
is. You're
And the
absolutely right.
best to ever do it too. He's one of the best to
Hmm.
ever do it. Everybody
because he
that get next
studied all
to
the
him
best.
become like one of the greatest. Like
It
most
must be in his
Back
guys
in
that
my
contract or
day,
something.
back in my day, they had the Grand Wizard, and he was one of the best. Like he managed superstar Billy Graham, and
Hmm.
Paul Heyman grew up hanging around all these guys. Captain Lou Albano. Paul
Hmm.
Heyman would hang out
Absolutely,
with,
yeah.
yeah, Captain Lou.
Hmm.
these were guys who knew the business.
You see
I
the
think.
promo that he just cut when he was being confronted about turning on, Roman
Hmm.
Reigns and CM Punk. You see how emotional and how red
Passionate.
he
He's
was. How he was
vested.
passionate, like he was serious.
Yeah,
Like even though we all know that it's scripted and it's just a show, when Paul Heyman do something like that,
You
he is
make them
hundred
believe.
make
percent
you
vested.
Yep.
see it, and yet
Yep.
you feel
Yeah,
every word that he's saying. You don't just
yeah.
hear it,
Yep.
you feel it. Like you
Yeah.
feel the emotion and everything that's coming from him when he's
Mhm.
saying what he's saying. Like you could really look at him like, wow, this
You make it
guy's
believable.
yeah, this guy's not playing around. Like
He's
it, it-
100% vested in his character.
so for somebody
100%.
And you
that's not
have to
like
be.
one of us, right? That are already deep into WWE. If it's somebody that's just starting to watch, they're
I
gonna look
believe him.
at that guys. They're gonna be like, "Oh, nah, he's for real."
Yeah, yeah. It's not.
They're
This
gonna
ain't fake.
swear to
This
God that that's serious.
this is not scripted.
Yeah, they're gonna be
Like,
like, "Oh,
yeah.
nah, he for real. He wanna cry."
So for me, Paul Heyman saved that whole night.
Yes.
When his story came up, it was like, okay, this was worth the money for the first night
Yeah,
because everything else was. I thought most of those matches was a Monday Night Raw match, not a
Yep.
WrestleMania match. I don't
Yeah.
think
Agree with you.
I don't think they raised themselves to that level. I think one of the funniest and maybe the most unexpected was Randy Orton.
That
Oh,
was good too. On night two, yeah,
that
that
was
was
night
good.
two. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
he
Okay.
what
So
again?
listen,
He
we
had
we
called
we
somebody
we,
out that night, right?
we yeah they what's that guy? I don't know his
Joe
name, but
Hendry.
Joe
go
Hendry.
ahead.
Joe Hendry.
Yeah. Listen, we're gonna get into that on another night because we passed the hour mark. It's
Okay.
funny when you having fun, time flies, right?
Yeah, I'm about
So
to say,
we're
I
gonna
ain't,
we're gonna reconvene. Hopefully, we can get the other people in this time with us. But y'all see how much fun this shit is, man.
yo, hold
Yeah.
on.
Especially when you.
Did we at least finish the matches for the first night?
I think that
Yes.
was the
Yeah.
last
That was the
one, right?
last
Yeah,
one.
that was the
Yeah,
Yeah, that
we're
was
on
last
the
the
one.
last
last
one.
All
one.
right, all right, good.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
we got
yeah.
to come back
So
and do
definitely a
Sunday
thumbs
results.
up for the last match of
Yeah.
that night. The
Hmm.
nut
So the
shot
next
to
time we
Roman
come back,
Reigns.
we could do night two.
Yeah. The
Yeah,
next one
shout
we
out to
start
Paul
off with
Heyman.
night two, and we go into more details about more things like wrestling and who should be having a belt, who else is coming up and coming that you guys might see happening,
Yep.
and some of the funniest things that I want to bring up some of the funniest things that you've seen in wrestling from way back in the days to now, and other shit that'd be more interesting, right?
Well,
So listen,
gentlemen, let me
guys.
finish up with my name's Father Kraven. Follow me on Facebook at Father Kraven. Follow me on Instagram. Father Kraven on Facebook has my bio, so you can read all about everything I've been doing.
Hmm.
I have a long bio written out, and you can follow our YouTube page and see all our footage from our recent matches, the Covenant Catacombs on YouTube. And I hope to see you guys down the road, and hopefully you can make some of the matches. We have them around the area, Howard Beach, Brooklyn, Queens. So I'll post on my Facebook, my Instagram. You guys hit me up, and we'll meet down the road. I'm looking
Mm.
forward to it.
You make sure you send me the links to all that stuff so I can put it in the description. Okay, so
You got it.
J- Breadwinner, I know you got some stuff you want to promote. So
Yeah, man.
yeah,
Appreciate y'all. You already know it's your boy Breadwinner 1007. Y'all can follow me on my YouTube channel. I'm doing a lot of live streams, video games, Ark Survival Evolved, Grand Theft Auto, whatever. Breadwinner
Make sure
1007.
you tell them it's overnight.
Yeah. It's all night from dusk to dawn, night to early morning. That's what they call me. So you know what I mean? Instagram, Twitter, Breadwinner 1007. Quad Guards. I didn't even get a chance to say that. I'm a part of a quadriplegic esports gaming team. We are actually the first and only all quadriplegic esports gaming team that's professional right now. Shout out to the rest of the team. We just had a
Wow.
Rocket League tournament that just passed yesterday.
Mhm.
So, you know what I mean? Things went all right with that. So y'all can check us out at quadguards.gg, QUADGODS.gg, QUADGODS.gg. We got a movie out on HBO right now. It's a Quad Guards documentary. You can find it on Max if you got HBO Max.
Mhm.
Just type in the Quad Guards. If you got YouTube, you could just type in Quad Guards trailer, and the trailer for the movie will pop right up, and you can get all the information to watch the movie from there. I appreciate you.
And let me tell you guys, I went to the premiere for that movie, and it's right on par with any documentary. It has you laughing, it has you angry. You might shed a tear or two. It is really good to watch. So make sure you go watch that movie.
Sure. Appreciate y'all.
Yeah.
Thanks.
So Jay, Big Jerry, Mahone.
I don't have nothing to promote, but I love wrestling. So, but yeah, pleasure to meet you guys. Very nice to share love for wrestling with a bunch of guys. So it's pretty cool. So yeah, I hope to do this soon.
All right.
You're ready, man.
Yeah. And you guys know who the fuck I am. But yeah, again, I appreciate you guys watching. We're gonna have a part 2 of this. I'm not sure when, but we're gonna make it happen because we got to finish the rundown. So thank you for
Let
watching
me know.
the elusive episode of Chopping It Up with your boy Blunt. Peace.
In Father Craven we trust.
Later.